Hey, so it's late September here in Maine. This is where I would usually be starting my bottle digging season, but it's 85 degrees out. I don't know what the heck that's all about. It's been that way for like 3 weeks. So I'm gonna go diving. See if I can flip and get away from my face. This is not an old neighborhood, but there's a couple of old houses right along the edge. So that tells me somebody else probably wouldn't have dove here beside me, and I dove here once, and right over there got a hell of a bottle. And over here I got a big schoolhouse bell, and I lost it. I was trying to carry it with my legs and dog paddled to the shore, and I dropped it right over there, and I searched for that thing forever but couldn't find it. But I'm hoping that some of these older houses, I might have to talk to a neighbor over here because I heard a dog bark and a person talk. I got permission to come this far. Yeah, I'll go talk to her. Hello. Hello. Hi. Yeah, I'm going. I got permission from this guy to park over here. I got permission from this guy over here to park, and I'm going scuba diving in the pond. Okay. So I just need to walk and get around these lily pads, or I can't get into the pond. So, okay, if I put in right there?
Where that stuff is?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let you know what I'm doing.
Perfect, I appreciate it.
Thank you. So she said, yes, that's just fine. I'm so damn harmless looking and sounding. If I tried to be. Yeah, she said, I'm parking here, and she said I could go in the back of her lawn because I can't get around that lily pad area. So I gotta kind of walk it out to the center of the pond and then paddle down to where I gotta go. So I'll throw on my gear and we'll see what happens. Hopefully my next video here is a basket of whole bottles instead of broken bottles. I just wanted to show you the equipment that I'm using today. I'm just using my regular vest and a tank. Down at the water I put my mask, goggles, my fins, and I'll be using this tool underwater. This also helps me get down to the lake, use it as a crane. I'll use this to stand on, but I'm not using a wetsuit. I'm not using any suit. I'm using a heavy t-shirt and then a heavier sweatshirt over it because the water's pretty cold. It was 49 degrees last night. And then I'm using some dirty bottle digging jeans. I use them for digging, and then I flip them into the scuba section of my closet and wash them off while I go scuba diving with a belt, with my regular belt on. I don't use dive weights because I'm going to be, when I get in the water, I'm going to sink with this on here. If I had my wetsuit on, that provides buoyancy, so I would need some weight to actually bring me down. But without the suit, I have no buoyancy. I just have these wet clothes, and I'll sink right down. So I'll puff a little air into my vest to get the buoyancy I need. But at least I don't have to be hauling my big lead weights down there as well. So I thought I would just point that out for anybody who is interested. All right, let's get in the water and quit procrastinating like I've been doing for a month. So just clothing, my scuba gear, fins. I will put a cap on to keep me warmer. That, I need my gloves, so I'll have to go back and get my gloves. Oh, that's kind of chilly. This is my floating basket. So you find stuff down, 15 feet down, you come up, and if it's something good, you put it in the basket so you don't lose it or chip it or something like that. And I'm heading out there. Well, I did it, and I had fun, and I found a few things. You're gonna have to put up with me huffing and puffing as I get my stuff off. I got some whole stuff and I got some broken stuff. Unfortunately, these two are broken, but I took them because they're really old. Like Abraham Lincoln old. Or maybe Thomas Jefferson old. I also get a basket full. I'm glad I got a couple of whole things, because finding all those shards is fun, but at some point you gotta be realistic about saving boxes of broken stuff. I brought this. This is, as it turns out, it's broken and it's ironstone, and I thought it might be a local rare pottery. So you bring it just to make sure it's not marked. Ironstone is that heavy white china, and it's not valuable hardly ever. Unless it's really marked or it's something real special. This would have been, on a dresser. There would have been a wash basin like you see in the cowboy movies, where they have the dresser and they have that basin with the cold water in it, and then they have this next to it, and they keep filling it up like that. A couple other interesting pieces of china. Look at that weird color. It's also ironstone. I don't know if that's caused by it being buried next to something. This isn't that old, but you can tell the fine, the shiny china is newer. It's what they would call high fire and more sophisticated and newer. It's a saucer. They were pretty close to each other, but this big thing, it's called the lard pot. And man, that was close. That was close to being whole. And you can see 150, 200 years ago, a potter, you can see his fingerprints right there. It's redware as opposed to, pottery. I mean, it's a type of pottery, but it's a soft pottery, and it was made everywhere, and that's got a glaze to it. This has river gook on it, and as it sits in the sun, a lot of it will flake off, and then the stuff that doesn't flake off after it sits out in the sun, I can dip it in muriatic acid, right? Get my acids right. And it's the stuff that they used, oxalic acid. They used to clean the hulls of boats to get the barnacles and river gook off of them. So when I clean this, I'll just be looking to see if there's a potter's name on it. So that was cool. But I also got some that would have been a neat cobalt blue master ink carders, I'm sure. And this would have been cool. This This is E. Hartshorn and Sons medicine. That's about 1875, and it's a really cool pattern. I mean, what do you call it? Embossing logo. And Rick can use that to make something out of it. So I'll probably chip it off and save that front panel for him. This is a 1920s Art Deco something cola. That is Bola, whatever. But I think it's a Portsmouth, Manchester, New Hampshire, says it right there. Hope I'm not doing a crappy job of filming this. This is nice. This is a... Look at that. Why didn't I do that in the first place? This would be relish. It's a food bottle, but it would be either relish or small pickles or capers. And you can see the... pretty clearly, you can see the seam comes up and then it disappears right there, and then they finish the lip by hand, so you know it's pre-1900, probably 1880, 1890s. I love these. You can call them chow chow bottles for some reason, relish, and they're just really fun to collect. And if you can get them really clean, then you can put food in them, not relish, but you can put like seeds, spices, things like that, and they look great in old colonial kitchen. This here was a super old, this is the same vintage as this. These two guys could have been late 1700s, or more likely the first half of the 1800s. But you know, that's a pontal. I mean, it's not just a kick-up base, it's also got the rough pontal feel to it right there. And this one is about 1890. It's a big, I think, whiskey, if I remember correctly, because I can see the whole front panel here is embossed with lettering, and I see the word Los Angeles off the top of my head. I can't remember the name, but I think what it says is something like blah blah logo, Los Angeles Company Distillers, Los Angeles and Boston, Mass. Doing that off the top of my head, but when I clean it, I'll see. And that's not broken, so that's a keeper. And then this is the best thing I got. It's a nice telegraph insulator, and it's a little bit of a different one. It's a little shorty, and I believe this was a two-piece bottom sat on it, and then this top part's screwed in like that. It's not embossed, and it's not super valuable, but it's not the kind that I dig all the time, and it's got a cool shape, and it's cute. Isn't that cute? And it'll clean up perfect, and there's no chips or anything. So, and this was pretty but broken, but Rick will get that because he can make something out of it. Rick Carney, that is. There's another video I did about him and what he makes out of these things. So it was a fun dig. I mean, a fun dive. The last dive of the season, because it's supposed to get down into the 60s next week, and I'm heading for the woods. I'll have to come back here because there's more stuff out there. It was all along the edge of the banking there. I swam across. I didn't feel like getting down the bottom of the middle of the river. I'm too much of a chicken. So I swim the top over to there, and then I just work my way along the bank. And you can only dig, you dig a little bit, and it makes this big plume of silt and dust, and so you got to get away from that spot and just work your way down. So you don't really dig in. I wasn't able to dig in one spot at this location. So if I pick something up, there's probably something right under it or right next to it, so it's worth coming back. But that was fun, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I appreciate you watching. And hopefully we'll get you some pontals in the woods next week. All right, bye.